Thank you, Madam President. My question is to the Minister of the National Disability Insurance Scheme. Specialist Disability Accommodation, SDA, delivers specialised housing support for Australians of very high needs and is designed to attract private market investment. Under the scheme, the government asked private investors to build small-scale customised houses, and the government would pay investors about $110,000 per year for each eligible person who moved in. But as we learned from ABC's Four Corners program last night, the scheme is being rorted by dodgy developers ripping off mum and dad investors. These Australians thought they were doing the right thing, the ethical thing, and they ended up losing hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process, while many disabled people still don't have suitable houses to live in. Minister, first of all, how many SDA houses has been built, and how many of these houses are actually being unoccupied at this point in time?
Thank you, Senator Lambie. Minister McAllister.
Thanks very much, President, and thanks for the question, Senator Lambie. It's an important subject. So, can I address the first part of your question, which is that my heart really does go out to those investors who have had a tough time here. And these were people, as you indicated, who thought they were making an ethical investment and who in some cases have seen their life savings disappear. There are unfortunately some people active in this market and in other investment markets that come to mum and dad investors and they give them information that simply isn't true. And in all cases, whether it's in this market or others, investors should contact ASIC if they're concerned that an investment scheme has engaged in misleading behaviour or misappropriated investor funds. My message to mum and dad investors out there who are looking to invest in specialist disability accommodation is that if someone says something that sounds like it's too good to be true, it probably is. Specialist disability accommodation investments are not government-backed. Occupancy is not guaranteed. The NDIS seeks to give participants choice and control. That includes choice and control over their living arrangements. And so when the NDIS funds SDA for eligible participants, those participants are able to choose the accommodation that works for them in a location where they want to live. And unsurprisingly, NDIS participants, like most other Australians, want to be able to choose the housing and the service options that work for them, close to community, close to services, close to supports. So the Four Corners program is really important, and I want to thank them and acknowledge the work they've done, focused on specific providers and practices, because that's what good public interest journalism looks like.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Lambie, first supplementary.
Thank you. The NDIA had oversight of the SDA rollout, but these empty homes, over 1,000 of them, according to the ABC, are being built in new suburbs far from services. I noticed that you just said close to community and supports. That's not what's happening. So what consultation protocols are actually in place that make sure these homes are appropriate for disabled Australians, that they are built in the locations close to the services that they require?
Thank you, Senator Lambie. Minister McAllister.
Thanks very much, President, and thanks, Senator Lambie. So it's very important to be clear about this, Senator. The NDIA doesn't build or own or commission specialist disability accommodation. The upfront investment of buying or building an SDA dwelling is borne by the owner or the investor. And investment in this market, like in any other market, carries risk. And so prospective investors really should seek independent legal and financial advice, and they should really carefully assess the information that's being provided to them by people who are supporting or the proponents of these investment schemes. So the NDI's role is to create a market that is sustainable, that provides genuine options and choice for participants, and ensures continuity of supports for eligible participants.
I thank you, Minister. Senator Lambie, second supplementary.
Well, I see, and I hope the Minister accepts now that giving the market free rein isn't working. And will she commit to properly regulating the SDA scheme to keep the dodgy developers out and protect the mum and dad investors who probably, by the way of doing this and not doing it properly, she has lost along the way? We have a problem here. Certainly not going to just sit here and talk gabble. Are we going to take some action and do something about it, and what action are we taking?
Thank you, Senator Lambie. Minister McAllister.
Thanks, Senator Lambie. So responsibility for managing investments and making sure that investors get accurate information about prospective investments for them lies with ASIC. And ASIC has been taking action in relation to some of the cases that are before them and that you saw on the program last night. The NDIA, of course, wants people in this market to have good information, and so on. Earlier this year, in July, updated information was provided about SDA investment considerations for investors. That advice directs investments to government agencies that can give advice or support to resolve issues that may come about for people who've invested in SDA. That's work that's been undertaken in consultation with the Commission, with ASIC, the Australian Securities and Investment Commission, and the ACCC. We want all of our markets, this one and a whole range of other investment markets, to work well, to be transparent and conducted honestly in the interests of investors.